Hi, my name's Amanda. I have a shop on Etsy called Halfway Homemade Decor, and today I'm going to be showing you how I make these bumblebee inspired natural seashell jewelry dishes. First, I'm going to start with a natural shell. I'm also going to use some paper napkins. Mod Podge. And then for the embellishments that I like to add onto the shells, just to give it a more polished look, a little bit more interest, I use gold shimmer hot glue and these metal bumblebee charms to start by adding a layer of Mod Podge to my shell. To do that, I'm going to use a basic paintbrush, just a craft art brush that I have here. Nothing special. This is a flat brush, but honestly, you could probably use whatever it is that you have at home. And then I'm going to apply a layer inside the shell, going all the way up to the edge. So as I showed you before, I'm using a paper napkin. Got these off Amazon. Everything is usually off Amazon for me. I really think that the best part of this napkin is kind of these yellow flowers and the bee itself. So I think I'm going to start there, and I'll go around the bee, kind of giving myself a lot of paper to work with. Obviously, it won't all fit. And I'm going to just take off some of this extra as well. There we go. And now I'm going to gently manipulate the napkin as best I can so that it doesn't exactly stick to the shell right away. I kind of want to make sure that I arrange it so that I can get both of those flowers and even this small bloom as well. So once I kind of get it there, I'm going to begin to press it down. Now, you can get pretty close to wrinkle-free. However, with Mod Podge, however, it's impossible to actually get a completely wrinkle-free finish when working with these shells because of the curvature of the natural seashell. So when you're picking a decoupage napkin, kind of make sure that you have one that will have a somewhat forgiving pattern. And I'm just using my finger to gently pat it in. I wrapped my strip of napkin all the way around, so it curved actually, and I was able to piece this top section right there. You might also notice that I wasn't able to get my design to the very, very tip of this seashell, and that'll be okay. I'll show you how I fix that. But now it's time for me to go in with a second layer of Mod Podge to add additional protection. If you find that there are some air bubbles underneath your napkin, I find them from time to time, I just apply a little bit more pressure with my paintbrush, and I'm able to kind of squeeze the air out and get that napkin to lay flat. Now, as I said earlier, it is impossible to get a wrinkle-free finish on such a design and shape as this, because as you add more Mod Podge, it's a wet substance. So your napkin will naturally wrinkle because you are wetting it. Even though you're not using water, you are using a form of liquid. So make sure again that you're choosing a pattern that will not showcase wrinkles as noticeably as a different pattern. Okay. There we are. I've applied that second layer. And so what I'm going to do now off camera is I'm going to use my hot air gun and I'm going to make sure that it dries, and I'll be right back for the finishing touches. All right, I am back. I used my heat gun to dry the paper napkin or decoupage paper. So now it is dry and I'm able to, just using my fingers, I'm going to pinch off the excess and go around the rim of the shell. I'll also use my finger nail on my thumb and press into my forefinger to pinch off as close to that rim as I can. You'll notice that the paper is like fraying, or it doesn't really have that nice finish anymore. For me, that is more than fine because I will be going over the edge with that gold hot glue that I mentioned earlier. If you wanted to leave it as is and not do like a hot glue edge or rim, you could again go back with your Mod Podge and just kind of glue the very tip and the edges of the napkin back onto the shell once everything else was all dry. Okay, that looks pretty good. So what I've also done is I have preheated my hot glue gun, so it should be ready for me to add a layer of gold hot glue around the edge. This gives it the appearance of almost honey, in my opinion. And with the bumblebee and flower features, I think that it just adds like a really cute element. You can really kind of see more of that honey texture. I'm gonna actually intentionally make it bumpy, thicker in some areas, thinner in others. I'm just peeling off some of these hot glue strands with my tweezers. I now have this bee that I would like to add, but I'm noticing that it may not fit on the very edge, or maybe it will. Let me see. I want to make sure that it has a good bond, and I'm just not sure that it will. The other option is that I could glue the bee into the bottom here, but I am afraid that maybe jewelry or a necklace could get stuck in the top of that shell right there. So here's another alternative that I could do. I have these other shells, or excuse me, flowers. They were from a charm bracelet, and these might work. This might work better for this project. I could add it on the top. I'm just not sure how cute that would look. It might look better if I were to glue it right in the back there. Let me think. I also have right next to me some pearls. I might be able to use one of the pearls in the very back. Or one of these. Oops. Or even a sparkle one. All cute, but I'm just not sure which one I like best. This one I might just leave as is, rather than risking putting on another embellishment that may fall off or could cause jewelry to get stuck. Because every seashell is of course a different shape and size, it doesn't always work out where I'm able to add all the same pieces and features, making each one unique. So I might leave this one just as it is, and it's still really adorable. All right, I hope this video inspires you to give shell decorating a try. I'd love to see if you are able to make your own. Share it with me or message me.